Hmm? Ah!
You're listening to the Run for Your Lives podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pake.
And this is the Run for Your Lives podcast.
This episode is the supernatural horror film Insidious, The Red Door, directed by Patrick Wilson and released July 7th, 2023. 23? Has it already been 3 years since we saw this in theaters together?
Yes!
Man.
I thought it had been 2. And when I was putting the doc together, it hit me when I saw 2023. I was just like, no, it was 2 years ago. I could have sworn it was 2 years ago. No, it was 3 years ago that we went to see it in the theater. And I can't believe it. I thought we would have covered it before now. Like 3 years is a long time.
Yeah.
It's half the life of this podcast. Because as we're recording this, it's about the time that we recorded the first episode of Run for Your Lives. It's crazy. Because it was around my birthday. Or right after my birthday. So like next week is like 6 years of Run for Your Lives. Wow. It's amazing. 260 plus episodes. Ugh, so much fun. Okay, well, how about we do this? Let's kick it off like we always do.
We'll really mix it up by doing the same. How about we do this? The same thing we always do. You know what? Sounds like a plan.
It's worked so far, so let's just keep going. If we started it out by you reading the synopsis and not doing anything else, I wonder if people would think they had found an alternate universe version.
Maybe we just like shuffle it completely. We'll start with the feedback phone, and then we'll tell people where to find us, and then we'll give your production notes, and then we'll talk about some of the movie. Then we'll introduce what movie we've been talking about, and then we'll finish our talk about the movie.
Okay. All right.
And then we'll tell them what it was at the end.
Excellent. I think we should do that for an episode. Just because it would be funny, and it would probably be a shit show, and I think that's okay. I do. I think it's fun to try new things. Last week when I was in Texas, I tried lots of new food. It was great. So, yeah, let's try something new with our podcast layout. And you won't even know, Pake. You're just going to come in and look at the doc, and I'm going to have it all rearranged. So, it was filmed in Morristown and Madison, New Jersey, and Atlanta, Georgia. This is the directorial debut for Patrick Wilson. It is the 5th film in the Insidious franchise. Mm-hmm. And it's also the first film that Leigh Whannell did not write the screenplay for. He wrote the story, but someone else wrote the screenplay. And I was a little nervous when I looked at who wrote the screenplay, because it was Scott Teems, and he wrote this great movie called Halloween Kills.
Mm-hmm. Everyone loves. Mm-hmm. Introduced us to one of the most beloved characters of all time.
Oh, no. No. It's crazy because whenever that actor is in movies now, I'm just like, nope. I don't think I should watch it. Maybe I should, to get it out of my brain that he is that terrible character. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go back and listen to our coverage of Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. You might as well. It'll be a fun ride. I can promise you that you should not watch the movies, but listen to our coverage. We cover it pretty well, and we save you the trouble. So, yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that. The budget for this one was $16 million, and it grossed $189.1 million at the box office, which to me means there's still a lot of love for this franchise and these films.
Well, we got 2 more movies coming, so...
We do. I'm excited, I think. I don't know that Leigh Whannell is writing them, so I'm not sure, like, how excited I am about it.
Yeah. I don't know if he's even, like, connected to the next one that comes out at all, honestly.
Yeah, I'm nervous about that. Because he didn't do the screenplay for this one. This wasn't my favorite movie of the franchise, and probably is like 4th or 5th in the line. Not because I don't love the characters in it, just because I felt like it was weaker than some of the others that we've seen, especially because we just covered 4 a couple of weeks ago, or last week in the land of continuity of this podcast. And so I was still like fresh from that with doing this.
We'll say with the new one, with Out of the Further, that hasn't come out yet, but comes out in about a month or a little over a month for as we're recording. And by the time listeners are hearing this, is sooner than that, if not already out. I don't know how time works, but
yeah,
I'm looking at it from what Leigh Whannell is marked as a producer, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's doing much of anything. As far as he's in the writing credits under based on characters created by, so
that's not enough.
He's not really connected to the movie. It doesn't seem past that. He gets a producer credit because he started the franchise. Is pretty much the only reason his name is on it at all.
It makes me nervous because, I think this movie is probably last on my list, ranking in order of how good they are. And he's not as involved in it. I mean, we see Tucker and Specs very little. In just teeny weeny pieces. But I feel like some of the vibe was different in this one. And of course it's going to be because someone else did the screenplay.
Yeah.
So, and that doesn't mean that I didn't like it. I did. It's just that in looking at the franchise as a whole, it's not in my top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So that tells you where it ended up. So this was 107 minutes long. Pake, give us a synopsis.
Yeah. Well, the quick and easy basic IMDb version. The Lamberts must go deeper into the further than ever before to put their demons to rest once and for all.
Dun, dun, dun. Yes, that is a synopsis. It came from IMDb based on what you just said.
Yep. So just like somebody who generates AI art, I created that synopsis so well because I looked at it. I got it from somewhere else and then read it. So look at that synopsis I came up with. So much of a genius.
Don't get me started on AI. Like everywhere I go, there's they all look the same.
Slop everywhere.
Everywhere. And I'm just like, no. I'm going to stick to Canva. I'm going to stay in Canva. I'm going to make graphics there. I'm going to use what they have. I'm not using the AI feature. I am building it myself because it will stand out against all the slop.
Yep.
And they all look the same. You can tell immediately.
Yeah, of course.
And in some cases, I'll see flyers like promoting an event with like special guests, and the picture of the special guests don't even resemble the people that are
Who
coming.
the fuck is that?
Like, I don't think they look like that, but okay. Yeah, I actually have to add an AI component to my photo use agreement because I don't want any of my skating photos to be uploaded into AI, like into any of the platforms. And so now I have to think about that, like how to word it. But yeah, here at the Run for Your Lives podcast, we're going to continue to do things our way, and we're not going to be using AI to make our graphics.
Except for the fact that all of my notes I let ChatGPT to. So
oh, you did?
So, yeah. So all of the thoughts that I'm going to share on this movie are my thoughts that ChatGPT wrote.
Oh, great. And remember that episode that we did way, way back? It was the surprise episode for me. That was so fun. That was back when it was fun.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I still wouldn't do that again now, but I will say it's different because it wasn't like generative AI. It was just like, that was a ChatGPT thing of like having it write. Because I think we did like writing like poems based on the movies, and then you had to guess what it was, or I just wrote it. I don't remember. It was something.
It was super fun.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's how it is.
As time goes by, we live and we learn.
Mm-hmm. So before I watched this today, I watched a catch up. I think I did this before when I a catch up.
A catch up.
A catch-up
just
video.
A bottle of ketchup, or...
You did not let me finish.
Oh, okay.
And in not letting me finish, you just jumped in.
We didn't record Buffalo this last week, so I need to get some of this out.
You saw me last week, and you got to pick on me in person. So that should carry you for a while. Evidently not.
Okay, so what did this bottle of ketchup have to say about this movie?
Yeah. For some reason, it was stuck on opinions. It wouldn't come out of the bottle.
You gotta smack the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah, flip it over and smack the bottom. That works in actually a lot of different scenarios with not even just ketchup bottles, I've found. Depending on what you're needing.
I don't know if I want to even think about what you're alluding to.
Don't worry about it.
How. Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, now that you've interrupted me, I'm going to try to explain. So, last week when we did the Last Key, I had watched a catch-up video from the first 3 movies, like a recap video. And so, I did that again for this one before I went into it.
Yeah. It's been 2 weeks. You already forgot everything.
Of course. Like, you know this. Yeah. Every time we talk about it, you watch a movie and you have to forget it. Chris never forgets anything about the movies. Anything we see, he can tell you who starred and when and everything. I forget. I can't remember it because I have too many other things to remember. There's too much useless trivia knowledge in my head that has to remain. And so other stuff just gets pushed out. So, I want to say, Ty Simpkins, my God, he's grown up. Little Gray from Jurassic World is all grown up and tortured and haunted in this movie. Yeah. Also, I mentioned this, I think, already. We saw Specs and Tucker in these little clips. There were other favorite characters that we saw in little clips. Like little bits, not much. Like, this was really the Lamberts movie. It was really Dalton's movie.
Yeah.
Joseph Bashara returned as the Lipstick Demon, which it's always great to see that character. I didn't think we got enough of the Lipstick Demon. I mean, I don't feel like we got enough of the demons, really.
Yeah.
That was missing. And that's maybe a Lee Wanell thing. I don't know. Maybe he just knew how to pull them in. I don't know. Part of me thinks that this, like, the story was good, but the
Yeah. Because I remember, this is only the second time I've seen it, because, again, we talked about, we saw it in the theaters together. And I think just because it was all very fresh and it felt very nostalgic and we'd been covering the movies, I enjoyed it more on first watch, I think.
Yeah.
Just because it was just like, oh, we're back in the world. But then really breaking it down today, watching it and looking at it, Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think it's rushed. When we get to the end and it's like, how are we going to get out of this? It's literally, I have in my notes, that was super easy, barely an inconvenience. Like it's just like, oh, I just have to paint over it and then all the problems go away. The end. Like it does feel like, yeah, that it was just kind of rushed and thrown together, especially at the end. It's like, okay, we threw in all our favorite people. We talk about the further. We have some of the demons. We get to do this. And then how do we wrap up this story? I don't know. Just however way you can get it done quick. Okay, got it. Done. Move on. It does feel very rushed and tossed together.
And it was as long, if not longer, than the other movies. And I feel like it went by really fast. Because I was down to the last 10 minutes and I thought, oh, I couldn't be at that point. Because I felt like something was missing. And I think you're right. I think the ending you brought back the Lamberts, the family that started this franchise. It was great to have them back. The nostalgia of having them back after we had them in the first two films. And I feel like, something was missing. There was just something that just didn't, the script didn't cook long enough, or the percolating, there was no percolating.
Yeah.
The ending could have been better.
Yeah. So that's it. We'll tear it apart with the negatives first, because they've got a lot of good to talk about when we get into it. But so it's good to get the negative out of the way. Yeah, is bringing everybody back. I mean, Ty Simpkins as Dalton, obviously you bring him back. And then, I mean, the parents, so, Patrick Wilson starring and directing at the same time. But
Which is not easy to direct your first film and it's one you're starring in.
Yeah.
I don't think this was a directing issue.
No, not at all. It's just kind of writing. I think a lot of the directing was very well done. But yeah, Patrick Wilson as Josh, and we really get to focus in a little bit more on some like new stuff with him we hadn't seen. But then like you bring back Rose Byrne and she's barely in the movie.
Yeah. And
it feels like after some of the stuff we got in the first two movies with her, it's like, let her do something, because we know she can. We don't get much anything with her. They go through, the trouble of getting Andrew Astor back as Foster, and he has like 3 scenes.
Yeah. And he's older now, and I just feel like the communication that we got between Foster and Dalton was great. We needed more of that. I don't know what I would have cut out to make that happen, but I feel like there were things that maybe could have been cut out. I will tell you that I absolutely loved Dalton's roommate, Chris. She was, for me, a highlight of the movie. Her attitude and just the actress, just the way she played it. Absolutely. I really enjoyed her a lot. I thought she was important to the story because I think Dalton needed someone there that could support him. And he was in a college situation, but he wasn't a typical college student to me. Dalton was incredibly tortured. Like, that's what I got from him, even when he was reading about his grandmother. Like, at the funeral, when he's speaking at the funeral, I felt like he seemed haunted and tortured. And we see how this hypnotism to block these memories and how it affects them differently, but still deeply. Because I think that what that did for Dalton was to make him really subdued and haunted and just not what you would expect if he didn't have any memories of what happened. And then Josh, the second time he's been hypnotized, is fuzzy and foggy and is not the father that we know that he wanted to be. And we pick up on this story like 9 or 10 years later, depending on if you watch the trailer or look at the movie. The trailer says 10 years. The movie says 9 years. Somewhere in there. 9 to 10 years. one thing that we knew about Josh from the first two movies is how much he loved his kids, and it just seems like he's got this dysfunctional relationship with them.
Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, reality-wise, in that span of 9 to 10 years, they're teenagers now, and that happens.
Oh, it definitely does.
Especially with the divorce and a lot of blocked trauma that hasn't been talked about. Mm-hmm. So, honestly, that does make sense.
It makes me think, things happen in your life and you sometimes wish you could just forget them. Like, if I didn't remember that, then my life would be so much easier. But would it be that much easier? If you've blocked something that's traumatic, even in this, at least in this case, it looks like, well, we've blocked it, but there's still residue there.
Oh yeah, they blocked the memories, but they didn't remove the trauma.
No.
That's still there.
It's still there. And so the movie is really, I mean, this is a Josh and Dalton movie. And it could have been much more of a Lambert family movie.
Yeah.
But we didn't get that. We got, Josh and Dalton dealing with things separately. I think Dalton's the main character.
Yeah.
It's hard. I went back and forth on, is it Josh? Is it Dalton? I feel like there are two storylines that are the same. They're kind of parallel.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know who you want to start with or what your thoughts are.
I would start with Dalton. The same as you said, kind of the main. They're both equally main characters. Like you said, they're these two parallel things. But if I just look at how many notes I have on each of them, Dalton and I have more, and would make sense to cover those first and then go back and kind of fill in the gaps with Josh's stuff.
Yeah. He learned some things in this movie, Josh did, that I think were good things. Like, they were pieces. It's part of the good part of the story, Josh's story and the things that he learned.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about it.
Yeah. And we've talked about some of it already. Is where the ending of chapter 2, it's the same, footage from there of Carl hypnotizing Dalton and Josh, and just kind of making them forget all of the traumatic supernatural events of the past year. The coma, like I said, you'll remember that he was in a coma and him recovering from it. But as far as all of the astral projection and the further and the demons and all of this, like, none of that. And then everything that happened to Josh in the second movie and his possession and all that, I was like, we're not going to remember any of that. We're just remember that Dalton was in a coma and then he woke up and everything's good and you're all happy now. The end. And it sounds great. But then, yeah, we're here 9 years in the future, and yeah, we see that again, that the trauma is still hanging around, and we see that just the whole family's been kind of in a rough place. Again, they're all back, the same kids. Callie is back, grown up a little older. Not the same baby, though. That is not the same actor. It's like, no. That would be nuts. No. But again, so you just you cast some little girl to play the child Callie is in one scene, and then we forget she exists forever.
Yep. She's at a sleepover. I think she's mentioned later as being at a sleepover, and that's it. That's all we know.
But yeah, so the family is reunited. They have kind of been split up as we find out that Josh and Renee have divorced, which, it's a lot of baggage.
Well, Renee has all of this knowledge because she wasn't hypnotized. She knows everything that happened to them, to the whole family. And I think she was in a rough place because as Josh was dealing with, I've got trauma in my head that I don't have a context for, and is foggy and is just not like dealing with things because he doesn't have the knowledge he needs to be able to deal with it.
And she does.
I think, and she does, but she doesn't want to tell him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just,
that'll wear down on it for sure. So yeah, the hypnotizing thing really did not help a lot. Like, we forgot the terrible things that happened, but now your marriage has fallen apart and everybody's just kind of like distant and disconnected and angry at each other. And it's created a real volatile and just not great family dynamic. But it's Lorraine's funeral that they're all back together. And then we learn Dalton is about to take off for college right after this, and he's very emo and macabre and distant right now.
Very much.
That's just what that's his thing, which again, it's a lot of that trauma and baggage and stuff that he can't process because of the hypnotism. And
I wonder too, might it have been better if they were going to hypnotize somebody, if they had just hypnotized Dalton and let Josh have the knowledge of what happened so that he and Renee could have worked together to protect Dalton and to keep things going. I don't remember why Josh was also hypnotized, but I think it might have been better if they hadn't done that to him.
Yeah. But also, I don't blame him, because you want to be like, yeah, if I could have the opportunity to forget the fact that even though I wasn't in my right mind and it wasn't really me, that I tried to murder my whole family, that if I could just get rid of that part, that would be nice. So
It's true. That is, yeah, I get that. I do get that. But it's had the effect that it's had on them. Has just, I mean, the family is just broken down. They're not the Lamberts we met at the beginning of the first movie.
No.
Josh is not close with his kids. Even Foster and Callie, he's not close with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than it is with Dalton. I feel like Josh and Dalton, they have this shared traumatic experience, and their relationship is just completely disconnected, and Dalton doesn't even want to listen to his father. Doesn't want, anything to do with any of it. Yeah. I get the feeling he just wants to go to college and be left alone.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a reprieve from just whatever is going on that's kind of fogging his head, too. At least he would think so. It's like, get away from my dad, get away from family, and just focus on myself. We see, as he was a little kid, he was drawing all the time in the first movie. So he's still drawing, got the artist passion in him. Much better now, much more skilled than an 8-year-old or whatever, which, of course, he's got time to learn. But yeah, it's interesting because at first I'm like, but it's real dark and disturbing. But I'm like, because they show in like the kind of opening credits him drawing Elise and all of this stuff. But then I don't know if that was really the case or not. Like, because when he moves into his dorm, like it's all like still life portraiture and like pictures of his family. You've got, he hung up, like he drew Lorraine and then his mom and Foster, and he's got these things. So he doesn't really, in the movie, I was like, why do we see that in the credits? And then it's like, actually, no, it was kind of like a foreshadowing, I guess, because it's not until he kind of unlocks that, the door in his mind, that then that's when he starts that drawing and those things.
But I actually liked the opening. I did like the way that they did the opening with the drawing, because to me it was like almost like a flashback, like of the drawings he was doing back in the first movie. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I looked at it, is okay, this is child Dalton drawing these pictures. Yeah. And then we're getting the fast forward to current day where he's ready to go to school. Yeah.
But a lot of that, subconscious trauma and memory is in there, and maybe some of it kind of, we see that, like, that's kind of how it can get itself out, is through his art, when he can, like, find those, like, deeper places in his mind to pull from, and we get that, like, that's where that can come from. As he head off to school, Josh manages to, convince him that, I'll take you, and he's like, okay, whatever. So a little bit of father-son bonding, if we call it that. Wasn't great. I guess it could have been worse. Seems like it could be good for both of them. We don't know. We know they were on the road for a couple days. It was just kind of a quick little, like, one scene to the next for us. So who knows? Maybe it was a decent ride. Maybe they had some kind of conversations. Who knows?
I don't think so, because Dalton put the earphones in, his earbuds in. He was checked out. Yeah. He didn't want this, I don't think.
Yeah. It says it's, hopefully there's a little bit of bonding could be good for them, but we'll see what happens. Because I said, they've been pretty disconnected. And by that, I mean their relationship is in shambles. Not just disconnected, but...
Yeah, they don't have a relationship. It's a father and son that desperately, I think, need an intervention to bring them together. And there's no Elise to bring them together or to do anything to help them.
Yeah.
We don't even know if they went to therapy. Like, none of these things that would help you deal with whatever.
Yeah. I could imagine that they didn't go to therapy, and Renee probably, in a part of her lies, would have kept them from doing that with the fear that could unlock those things. Yeah.
Yeah, and no one knew that Dalton was going to go into his art class and be not hypnotized, but counted into connecting with a piece of himself.
Unhypnotized in a way.
Unhypnotized. Yeah. But even before that, you get the further, not the further, but you get a further glimpse of how really broken Dalton and Josh's relationship is, because Josh wants him to check out a frat party, and Dalton's just like, you don't know me at all. Like, you have no idea that that's not who I am. I don't want to be in you get the impression Dalton is an art student. He's not interested in the frat life. He isn't anything like the people that they show us are in the frats.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like them. He's different, but to me, very haunted.
Yeah.
And you see at the end of the movie, when they get through everything, how he is, his demeanor, his face, everything, when he's not. And it's night and day. Like, it's just so different.
Well, it's a tough place that both of them are in, is because, again, like, yeah, they had their memories wiped, but it didn't remove the trauma. So now they're still fucked up. They just don't remember what fucked them up. And that's not a great place to be in.
Not at all. Not at all. Again, as we said, the trauma is there with no context at all.
Yeah.
Something weighs on you, but you have no idea what it is or why. And so you just feel it. And that can cripple you. Because you have to go through self-reflection, and you're trying to figure out what it is. And anyone who's been in therapy will tell you that you connect with parts of yourself to try to figure out why something is bothering you, or how to deal with something that's bothering you. And if you have that weighing on you and you can't get to the bottom of it, you're just going to live in that cycle of pain, because you just don't know what it is. You just know it's there, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah. So you mentioned the art teacher, which she's intense.
Yeah.
He idolizes her. I mean, we even get some little conversation we got in the car. I mean, he's purposely attending this college for her class. That's why, like, he is a fan of hers and wanted to take her class. And so he's, like, fully jumping into her way of doing things. And honestly, if he wasn't really fucked up from, like, all of his past, this honestly was, like, could have been, like, the perfect life and great for him. And hopefully it will be moving forward after this movie for him. But yeah, she, as we talked, kind of unhypnotizes him, like, not fully, but really helps bring some of this stuff out, counting down and even using phrasing is like sinking further and further. And so it's like, it's unlocking these little things in his head. And then
it's opening the door.
Yeah, out of him comes...
It's opening the door.
That door. And then through that, he has kind of this supernatural moment with the demon there, cuts his hand, and then with his own blood, the red door, and it's starting to piece together. And it is through the unlocking of his mind, thanks to that art teacher. It's her fault. Yep. She did it.
Which I think the use of red in this movie, the way that they use, like, the red in the blood and the red in the door and the red in specific things.
Yeah.
Even in the demon layer. It was used so cleverly. That's one of the positive things I have to say about some of that is it wasn't overused. It was used strategically, and I liked the way that they used it.
Yeah, and so it's all pieced together, and he's unlocked the door. in that way. And now that's definitely leading to some terrifying things. It doesn't take long to where he's already has like things that like, you know, scaring him and showing up in his dorm and these little things happening. You know, again, it does, the pacing feels very fast, but it's the same time, it's just like, all right, now we're in it. Like, it's just getting started, but we're going to go quick. And it's just kind of one thing after the other. Him and Chris go to this frat house party. You know, just kind of on her, you know, she's the one that's going to like drag him around to everything. It says, you know, Chris is officially Dalton's new college best friend. And he has no say in the matter.
Yep.
Whether he likes it or not.
Everybody needs that friend that's going to pull you out or get you to go do things instead of stay home. I'm that friend for one of my friends because he would stay home. He would not do anything, but I drag him out of the house to go out once a week. Otherwise, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do it. It's not who he is, but he likes to go out once a week. But everybody needs that friend that's going to push them to do things a little out of their comfort zone. You need that person to, you know, kick you in the butt and get you to do stuff so that you open up your world to something more.
Yeah. Like go to a frat party to just kind of make fun of it and see what's going on. It's the frat house party. The frat house. The last house where men can be men, says the frat boy twink in a diaper and bib. But okay.
I could not even.
Sure.
Could not even. Oh, man. That was... I mean, when they show up, what was it? In the diaper? Like, putting in a diaper? It was just like, no.
No thanks, I'm good. Yeah, but they show up, and it's time to explore and disrespect the frat house. Maybe have a run-in with a ghost while you're there. And yeah, he close the door. Yeah. And not just literally the bathroom door, as they kind of joke about, but yeah, because we see that as he's unlocked this red door, things aren't great now. Since he did that. It's not just affecting him, but like other ghosts that kind of would be more at rest are now crossing back over. Even now they can have access to Josh, you know, across the country where they're at. So who knew that little Dalton, he's like 18, 19 now, but still, who would have known that Dalton would have so much power that just like his ability not just unlocks the door for himself and things to affect him, but like he's straight up just like piercing the veil between life and death for the world, you know, like.
Yeah. And for someone who had no idea that this is part of suppressed memories, I mean, he's terrified of the things. He's questioning what's real and what isn't, I think, at first, because he's just like, what is going on? Especially when he's in that guy's room at the frat house and he sees the puking ghost, the one that says close the door. And he's trying to figure out what it means, and it's not, I mean, it's not something that he can put his finger on because he has no memories of any of this. Those were all wiped away by Carl.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, crazy stuff at the frat house. Him and Chris getting into trouble. Nick the dick, kick the dick. Yes, please.
Yes. I loved when Chris did that. That made me so happy. I love how she was trying to cover for the situation by kissing Dalton and making it look like they were going to have sex just to, you know, throw them off the scent of it, or I don't know. But he was such a dick and he was so mean to her that when she kicked him, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
They run back to the dorms and then, looks like Dalton's unlocked astral projection again. It's not good. You know, he has a little fun with Chris's melodica. But yeah, it was, playing around with his ability to astral project went so well last time. I'm sure it'll be fine this time too, right?
If only he had memories of astral projecting last time, so he would know. I don't blame Dalton at all. These memories, he was a child. The memories were taken from him. He is not responsible.
Mm-hmm. And I also love the little creepy whatever that was following him as he returned to his body. It had like a tail or whatever. It's like you just see like this like little glimpse of it. And it's like, and we never see it again. It's like, what was that? Okay.
Unanswered questions. Things that we could know the answer to that might help us understand things more, but we don't have answers for that.
Yeah. And then Dalton's trying to explain the little bit he knows, really just about like, well, he doesn't have the term for it. He doesn't have that stuff, but he's like, well, I watched myself sleep and then I flew away. He doesn't use those words, but but it's the return of that, and she seems receptive enough to his story about what's going on, and yeah, so he's starting to realize that like, okay, something is definitely happening. I have some kind of ability, something weird's happening. And then he's back in art class, and I was like, oh shit, here we go again. This lady and her counting down. What's going to happen now? And yeah, he just keeps adding to this portrait and more things. And then is when we get one of the Foster scenes, and I was like, well, Foster was no help at all. Thanks, dude.
And I don't think Foster was hypnotized.
No. He was young. He was probably, I mean, what, he was probably 7
6? Or 8, yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's a lot that's just kind of there, but there's enough to where he's like, that, yeah, it seems important, but I don't know. You talk to mom. And, like, Dalton has this, like, and again, it's like the trauma that's in there. It's like, he doesn't know why, but there's something in his brain telling him, like, don't talk to your mom about this. Like, it almost as if he knows that, like, she would know and it would be really bad.
Yeah. But he still is trying to figure out what it is. Like, he's not just letting it go. And I really liked that Chris didn't just freak out and tell him he was crazy and run away. Yeah. I like that she instead was a friend and went and looked into this.
Yeah, and it comes back. And then, yay, the return of Specs and Tucker. Albeit in a YouTube video form, but they're here. Yep. Elise as well. With a warning almost just meant directly for Dalton. Like, and he's relearning the things that he learned when he was a kid from the same people without realizing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, souls are awoken with your presence in the further, which is a terrible place where the souls are reliving terrible parts of their lives. They smell you and your essence and your life force and run to it because they want your life.
Mm-hmm. As we've seen as a constant through all 5 movies now.
Yes, that is exactly it. This is how this works. And astral projectors who go into the further, they're like a midnight snack. They're like a buffet. They're something that can feed these souls, and the souls can take over.
Because not only is like, yeah, there's life that they can focus on, but there's like, that's an empty vessel for a time that they can just take over.
Yep. They're going to steer the ship. For sure. But Dalton, I also appreciated this about him. He wanted to know more about what was going on. He didn't just give up on it or try to block it out more. He was interested in the kid that was puking. Like, he wanted to go back to the frat house and understand things more.
Yeah, he's like, if I can see these ghosts, these spirits, then it's like, we'll have a chat. Maybe we'll see. Not realizing it was going to go way worse than he thought, but I love this. Like, how are you going to get back in the room? And I love that. It's like, Nick's in his room. It's like, it's not a problem. Again, call back to the first movie. I like, it's because Dalton is a superhero. He can watch himself sleep and then he'll fly away.
Fly away. Exactly. I love the little exchange between Chris and Dalton where he says he's not a ghost and she says, and you never will be with that attitude, Casper.
Yeah.
Was just one of the funny things. She was the funny in this movie for me. Like, she gave us a little bit of humor because we didn't get Tux and Specker.
Classic.
We didn't get Specs and Tucker to give us that levity, really. So we needed someone to give us something that made us at least, like, let our blood pressure go down for 2 seconds. Although I will say, I don't think the jump scares in this movie were as intense as in the last one. Especially the last one. And probably the earlier ones, too. I felt like it was lighter on that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe that's part of it. That's why it didn't resonate with me as much. But I still was happy that we got to see the Lamberts. And hopefully this is the end of their story and they're going to be let alone.
Yeah, I think so. Although, this is maybe a light spoiler. So if you're like die hard on this franchise and don't want to know anything at all, skip ahead 30 seconds. But, yeah, because I think we're done with them. Because even the new movie that's coming out in a month or right now, if you're listening, just the synopsis on it. Because again, I don't watch trailers and stuff, but just like the IMDb synopsis is like a new family. So it's like completely separate. But some other kid and some other family can astral project and finds the further in the red door and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, okay, but if some other kid, some other person opens it, as we see in this movie, Dalton opens it and then it affects other people. So it's like, is it going to create problems for the Lamberts again, even though they closed it because some other random kid opens it? Like, I don't know. Hopefully not.
I don't know. The only way that I want to see the Lamberts brought back in is if they're coming in to help with the situation, much like Elise did. Like, I'm okay with that.
The new movie is 10 seconds long. This other kid is like, and I can fly away. And just Dalton walks in, smacks him in the face. No.
I said, no.
Don't.
We're not doing that. No, you cannot open the door.
Bad idea.
No. I painted that door shut. And we know that when you paint something, it closes the door. Which to me is weak.
Yeah.
But, okay.
But yes,
I'm not blaming Dalton for it. I'm just...
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't strong enough. It doesn't live up to the other movies in this franchise.
He's going to do some astral projection. I do wish I could fall asleep that fast. I'll skip on the astral projection part, but like to be able to go out in 10 seconds like that, this sounds fantastic.
It does. How many nights I've spent staring at the ceiling, like insomnia.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But yeah, Dalton gets a lot more than he wants on that trip in multiple ways, really. More of Nick than he needed. But also, yeah, he's reunited with our dear old friend, the lipstick face demon, who's looking extra scary nowadays. And he's still craving that Dalton life.
Yep. Yeah.
He's been after it for 10 years.
It's not the glamorous life, it's the Dalton life.
Mm-hmm. He just wants that boy.
We want the boy. Oh my God. One of the scariest scenes.
So it's just like, well, fancy seeing you here. I thought I was never going to get you.
I smelled you all the way from over there. Oh my God.
And then after, that, Chris is now seeing the danger of Dalton's abilities here. It can, in fact, affect people in the quote-unquote real world, this dimension around him. So...
yeah.
That's great. And then still the subconscious stuff is still coming out through the artwork. And so he's added to the door now and he's got this figure with the hammer and this... He's like, there's got to be some importance to it. So again, he's talking to Foster. And Foster's actually a little bit more helpful this time. Good job, kid. Again, he was young, but when they talk about the hammer and stuff, like, Foster's talking about, like, yeah, Mom always told me that it was just imagination and not real. And he was young enough when it happened that it's easy enough to compartmentalize it that way. But he's like, but no, I've still this mental image of their father possessed by Parker Crane wielding a hammer and trying to murder them. It's going to be ingrained in there somewhere. So when Dalton brings that up to him, he's like, oh yeah, that. Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about that.
And of course, Foster doesn't know that his mom has been... I mean, he knows that his mom would have the answers, but he doesn't know exactly what his mom has been carrying for all this time. Mm-hmm. Like, all the memories of what happened that she knows.
Yeah, and then that unlocks that memory kind of for Dalton, as he can go in after having that conversation with Foster and then bringing that subconscious back into his drawing and realizes, yep, that's my dad whose face is materialized here. And then that's even more fucked up because, like, he still doesn't have the context. So he's like, okay, so the memory that I knew that I was missing memories. And when I finally dug in there and pulled the memory out, it was of my dad trying to kill me. What? Like, that's not what I expected to pull out of there without the context of he was possessed or whatever was going on. So he's like, that's insane. Why is he now driving me to college? Shouldn't he be in prison? What's going on? Like, there's a lot that's like...
Like, he's unpacking these things without the context or the background information to understand what was really going on. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have the answers yet. He's learning as he goes, but he doesn't have all the answers. He's just piecing it together. And at that point, Chris is, like, telling him not to do this, like, not to dig into it, that it's bad, that he needs to stay away from it. She's kind of distanced herself from him a little bit. And he's not giving up. Mm-mm. He's still digging into it because he knows there's more.
Yeah. And now that he's remembered, in a way, how to go into the further, he goes in there, and then kind of all the pieces snap together. He relives that horrible moment of his, possessed father's attack. And then all these little things, remembering his coma and seeing stuff as he's in the demon's lair. He's back in this place, and it all comes flooding back, everything. And it's kind of like he just gets to watch the first two movies real quick, downloaded into his brain.
Yeah, it's kind of like I did, with that recap. Yeah. He just gets
some catch up as well. And then
he got some catch up as well. Yeah. Because he's a prisoner now in the demon's lair. Mm-hmm. And his body has been taken over. Yeah,
such a great reveal, because you don't really know that for sure. Is he wakes up and he comes back, and then Chris comes in and they're talking, and then you see he's kind of staring at her, and there's like this. It starts like, oh, he's back. And then it's like, well, it's a little questionable. He's a little off. And then the shadows over him, and then his face starts to change. I thought that was done incredibly well.
Me too.
I'm going to give the most props to this movie in that part. Is just like the slow reveal of like, oh, fuck, that's not Dalton that came back. Uh-oh.
Yeah. I thought it was obvious the second time it panned to his face, even though it didn't show what it showed a little bit, like one or two little looks later where you could see his face had changed.
Yeah.
His expression was different, and so you knew something was off. And this very much connected to me. It connected with the other movies and the way that we got reveals, and I liked that.
Yeah.
For that reason. That was kind of like digging into the essence of what the Insidious franchise is. Mm-hmm. So I appreciated it. I wish they had tied some other things in a little better than they did, but...
Yeah, this part was done very well. Again, we see, he's trapped and chained up in the lair in the further again. But this time, the thing that's different is, the whole first movie is they're trying to rescue him before the lipstick demon can actually possess him. Which I don't know what makes a 8-year-old so much harder to possess than an 18-year-old, but for whatever reason, old LFD gets what he wanted this time.
Well, I mean, when he was 8, at least he could see what was happening. Mm-hmm. Dalton has no idea still what's going on.
Right.
He has what he saw of Elise. He knows that. He knows what he's doing with the astral projection, but he doesn't have all the pieces together yet.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that he realizes that he's been possessed, that his body is possessed at that point, just because he doesn't have all the pieces. He still hasn't talked to his dad. When I said earlier that they're parallel stories, they absolutely are. But once Josh drops Dalton off, their communication is text messages or a voicemail. There's no connection after that point. So he doesn't really, he has what he's put together and that's it. So Chris is hanging out with Dalton. Or rather, LFD.
Mm-hmm.
Truly terrifying.
Little fancy dude? No.
Little fancy dude, yeah.
Lipstick face dude. Lord Farquaad's dog? No.
No. So she's getting to see this and it's scary for her, but I think it could have been more terrifying. Like I think there was an urgency in this movie, but it didn't feel as urgent as the other. I just didn't feel that this time.
Yeah. Again, it's kind of rushed because, we'll talk about Josh in a little bit, but him, then just once he gets the realization, kind of gets filled in and downloads real quick of what's going on. He's like, oh, okay, then let me go into the further and save him. And then I did. And it's just all very quick. He goes in, saves him, which then saves Chris in a way. Cause once he breaks those shackles, then Lipstick Face Demon drops out of Dalton to go back to keep Dalton from, being pulled out of the further. And so we just get this quick, very okay, it's not much of a face-off. It's okay, oh no, Lipstick Face is coming. Let's get out of here. All right, you go back to your body, and I'm gonna Hodor. And then Dalton goes back. He's like, okay, I'm just gonna pull a Rolling Stones, paint over the door, paint it black, and then game over. The end. We're all saved. Go home. Yay, team! It's just okay.
Yeah. I think the end was the weakest part.
Yeah.
Probably of the whole movie. Or the resolution.
Yeah.
I just know that they have faced the Lipstick Face Demon a few times.
Mm-hmm.
He was far more menacing than what he was in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, this one he's he broke through the door and then he's staring at it and he's like, oh no, my only weakness, paint. And then that was it.
It's like the Wizard of Oz and the Witch in Water. Yeah. It's okay, I'm melting. I'm getting paint on me. No, you're not, really. It's just paint on the door. I don't know. Is it magical paint? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Must be. But yeah, so the ending's very, or at least, like as you said, the resolution is very kind of rushed and strange, especially on this watch being I didn't even remember that's how it ended when we saw it in theaters. I'd kind of just forgotten about it. To where watching I was like, wait, this is how I was I don't remember seeing it. It's how did I feel about that when we watched that the first time? I don't know. But
I almost think that if Josh had sacrificed himself to save Dalton, that might have been a better ending. And I'm not saying I wanted Josh not to live in this movie. I'm just saying that with proper context to this franchise,
it would have you didn't really feel like there was stakes.
No.
Yeah.
And I felt like there were stakes before. So this was, Yeah. Not at all.
But it's still, that aside, I don't hate it. It's still a fun movie. It's fine. And I do think that the end of Dalton taking that red door painting that has now been completely covered in black and then painting over that with the portrait of his father carrying him as a child out of the further was a very beautiful kind of representation there.
Yeah. Because not only does Dalton, or he didn't remember his father trying to kill him, he also didn't remember his father saving his life and all of that. He didn't know any of it. And now he does. And I really like the way that they show us he's a calmer person
Mm-hmm.
And there's more joy, I think. Not joy, oh my God, the world's a beautiful place, but he's not so contemplative.
Yeah.
His expression just seems one of contentment instead of terror or hauntedness. I just felt like he seemed like he was haunted, and now he doesn't seem that way.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then that's the end of the story. It's all over. Well, at least for the Lamberts. We will see what comes next in Insidious, Out of the Further.
I don't know. I'm sensing maybe they're going to go out to the desert, and who knows what we're going to see. I don't know. I have no idea what we're going to see with it.
I don't. Like I said, I read that little synopsis thing. I don't watch trailers. I haven't looked at anything.
You don't?
I'm like, whatever it is, like, I'm going to go see it. So whatever it is, we'll find out.
We'll see how it goes. We'll cover it. We will complete this franchise. There are other franchises that we will probably not complete. This is one that we're going to finish. We'll keep going on it for as long as it goes. Unless it gets completely silly. And then we may have to draw the line. So let's go ahead and talk about Josh.
Yeah. Just a few little things. Honestly, we covered a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, saying that, he's also even himself, referring to himself as like foggy, and like his memories have really been messing with him. But there's like those little things, they're at the funeral, and after the funeral, he sees Carl. And you can tell Carl's like, shit. Like, I don't want to know. Don't talk to him. I don't want to, unlock anything. But yeah, because there's something in Josh's mind that's telling him, like, this person, there's something important there. And it's on him there. And he talks to Carl, that gets back in the car, and he's texting Dalton. And that's where you get this, orange sweater ghost that turns out, spoiler alert, except not really, because we've already talked for over an hour about this movie. His dad, the ghost of his dad. And it's like one of those, again, rare occurrences of like, not really a malevolent spirit. Although, I don't know, the first interaction they have with each other is a little terrifying.
He's trying to get his attention.
Yeah.
And I kept seeing him, like, he was like behind the car and then at the house when Josh was doing this memory game.
Yeah.
Because, again, he's trying to figure out this fogginess. He's...
Yeah. Which is his memory really that bad? Because I was like, dang, the window matching picture game, I was like, it's not that hard. Like, no. I could tell you where that picture is. You're supposed to. How are you getting that mixed up? It was like, even the ghost of his father is so annoyed that he had to bust in through the window out of frustration. Like, God damn it, Josh! It's not that hard.
Yeah, and he chases him around the house and then upstairs, and the end result is basically Josh gets this box, and in the box are pictures, and the box is marked Ben Burton. Josh doesn't know who this is. Not really. No.
He's a spooky, scary background ghosty.
He sees all these pictures of his mom with Ben Burton, and so then he has to go down to the library, and I think it's a library, and he's looking through this information, like trying to figure out who this person is. Although he's looking at what looks like death declarations or like hospital records. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure HIPAA is a thing and you're not supposed to have access to that, but okay. So he's looking through all of that. And this is when he learns that Ben Burton was married to his mother. And he was classified as a schizophrenic, and he jumped off the roof of a psychiatric hospital.
Even in that paperwork, there were personal claims from Ben Burton of being able to astral project.
Yes.
So, there's this tie to the further. So again, the genetic, because we learned that Josh as a kid would do that, and that's how it's been passed down to Dalton. And so, of course, Josh got it from his father as well. So, this history of mental illness, but also history of supernatural abilities. that kind of go hand in hand a little bit, which I like that he does go and seek first medical help and then kind of goes towards the more mental health route. And I will note that the reason he does that is on the suggestion of Dalton, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. He listens. And he even reaches out to Dalton to tell him that he's had an MRI and that it came back fine. In the message that he leaves Dalton. Because again, they don't communicate till the very end of the movie. Or in the further. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, so then whenever Josh is showing back up at Renee's house and is freaking out about all this, and you see that, like, she's very composed. Like, you see the moment in her brain that she's like, ah, shit. Yep, here we go again. It's like, yeah, it's just like, do you believe me? And it's like, oh, no, I believe you a lot. Actually, it's like, you should sit down. We got a lot to talk about. I've got some secrets to share. She was really just hoping this would all be behind them. But when he's like, and then he's like, my dead father is attacking me in my house and I'm seeing this stuff and this red door. And she's just like, yep, like, I guess we're not over this. But yeah, it's a lot. Astral projection, the further, hypnosis. It's a lot to break onto him. But I think all of that would be super easy to take versus the last bit of news that she drops on him, which is also you were possessed by a demon and you tried to kill all of us. Like that. How do you take that? How do you tell somebody that?
Yeah.
It's heavy.
That was a lot for him to take in. And all of this that's been weighing on him in this foggy head of his, he learns, okay, this is real, and maybe I won't be as foggy now. That's what I thought. I'm like, okay, maybe you won't be as foggy now.
It is just like a quick jump. He's like, he just gets all this dumped on him. He's like, oh, well then what do I do with this information? Astral project and travel into the further. It's like, wait, so you just know how to do all that again? Okay.
You gotta go get Dalton. You gotta go. You gotta do it.
Travels in there, and then he kind of realizes what's happened to Dalton. And I guess he just kind of clicks with all this, and he knows what to do. He does see the last time that they were together in the further while he's in there. Again, it's not a lot of it, but it doesn't affect anything. So it was like, the further, I don't remember what I referred to it last week in the last movie, but it's like further time fuckery. Classic FTF, but it's like FTF light. Because it doesn't really interact with it or it doesn't change anything, but he can at least see the thing happening that happened 10 years ago simultaneously. Yep. It's FTF light.
Yeah, again, Josh and Dalton are on a parallel journey, but they're not connected or talking to each other. So we're basically seeing them figure out their own half of the puzzle of what happened and what they have to do now. Because they didn't destroy the further. It's not destroyed. It's still there. Like, they painted over the door. You can't pretend it doesn't exist. You can't pretend it away.
Yeah, but at least it closes it for now. And then I guess, Dalton makes a good point, I guess. Is like kind of when everything's over and done with is when he's talking with Chris, and Chris is like, well, we just need to forget about that forever. And he goes, well, no, we don't need to forget it. We need to remember that it's there. And I think he makes a good point. Is like, forgetting it's not good because that's what we did and we see where that led. So instead, we must remember always what it's capable of and what it is. And then that way we can actively keep it closed and keep it away.
Yeah, you have to remember even the things that hurt. You need to remember them. You can't block them out. And then at the end, we get to see Josh show up and see this picture that Dalton created of him carrying him.
Yeah, and there's a little, his father was the one that led him out, guided him out of the further after the door was shut. And so you get those like little, so it's like some of those little tropes are like, oh yeah, like the ghost of a loved one. But it was just like, it's all shoehorned in. It's like, oh yeah, make sure we sprinkle that in and that and that and then, okay, we've hit the, greatest hits. Let's move on as fast as we can.
I would have rather the movie been another 10 minutes so we could have actually had more meat instead of, I don't know.
But we do get the little conversation with Elise at the end, which was...
Yes.
It's good that she's still around keeping tabs,
Yes, absolutely. He knows her, but he doesn't know. Like, Josh doesn't have that knowledge. And I liked that Renee invited Josh to come early the next week so he could have dinner with them. Mm-hmm. And that might make things look like they're on a path towards them getting back together, or if not, at least having a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Him with Renee and him with the kids, like all of them having a healthy relationship. Because that's something you have to hope for after everything that they've been through.
Yeah.
Whether or not they get back together, at least having a healthy vibe with his kids is important.
Yeah.
And I don't think Renee stopped loving him. I think
it was
she had to do it. I mean, it just got to the point that she had to do what she did.
Lying and keeping the secret and keeping all that stuff. It was too much to bear on her, that it was easier for him to not be around than to try to keep going as normal when everything's not normal.
Exactly. Because she had to live with knowing that he tried to kill them. Mm-hmm. I mean, how do you do that? And keep the man in the house? Like, I mean, of course you would worry it would happen again. I mean, we're talking about demons here. Mm-hmm. So, I don't have any other notes like that. There were a couple things I saw that I want to mention kind of outside. So there's still talk of there being an Insidious Sinister crossover. Nothing's happened with it. They're still talking about it. The campus they used in this movie was used in a movie that I actually really liked called Toy Soldiers. It was way back in 1991. It's about a boarding school that gets taken over by terrorists, hostage takers, and it has Will Wheaton is in it. Sean Astin, a couple others. It's really good. I liked it a lot. I've seen it a couple times. And then the song at the end that's playing over the credits is called Stay, and it's a version of it recorded by a band called Ghost. And I remember the song from 1992 when it came out as a one-hit wonder for Shakespeare's Sister. It's a band. It was cool to hear this cover of it. I might have to add it to my playlist because it just was a little bit of a different twist on it. Yeah, I think that's all of my notes. I don't think I have anything else.
That's all I got.
I think we did it.
Oh, well, there goes the feedback phone. So hopefully people have some thoughts about this movie, this franchise, this stuff. Let's see.
I hope so.
All right, we do have a piece of feedback this week. We got one from Catherine, of course, so I'll get there. She says, I love double dips. There were definitely Hodor / hold the door vibes with that red door. And I was like, oh yeah, she's calling back. I was like, oh no, she hadn't actually listened to this yet. So yeah, she came to that on her own as well as I made that joke. So good. Awesome. It goes on to say, this one wasn't as entertaining because it seemed more about the relationship between father and son than the horror that was influencing them. It made an excellent drama film, but there weren't many scares. I loved Elise's spirit at the end. After the last key, she may be my number one in the franchise.
Aww. Yeah. Yeah, Elise is pretty awesome. Well, if you'd like to leave feedback, you can do so
via our Podcastica Discord server. We have a Run for Your Lives channel in there, so you can go in there and leave us your feedback. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Run for Your Lives Podcast, or you can email us, runforyourlivespodcast@gmail.com. If you're enjoying the show, tell your friends, as we are available on all the podcast players, including Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and more. You can go to runforyourlivespodcast.com for all the links that you're ever going to need. And give us a review on Apple Podcasts, as that is the best way to share the love and get us out there even more. We really appreciate it.
We really do. And of course, speaking of sharing the love, I got to give those shout outs to whatever's going on in the Podcastica universe around us and beyond. Some fun stuff for you to go check out this week as you're waiting for the next Run for Your Lives. Of course, over on the Walking Dead cast, Ben and Alex breaking down season 3 of The Walking Dead, Dead City, which is out now. So season 3, episode 2 this week. And I've been hearing some really big reviews, like good reviews on this season, really landing really well. So if you're watching along or you want to catch up, it sounds like now's the time to get on that. So definitely check that out, and then check out their Dead City coverage over on the Walking Dead cast. And then we have Dragon Cast here on Podcastica, which of course, House of the Dragon coverage. Wendy, Veronica, and Archmaester Rennie been killing it, covering all of that stuff over there. And so, of course, episode 7 of season 3, the penultimate episode of the season, The Dragon in Winter here. So we've got that. We've only got one episode left. This weekend is the finale. I'm not ready.
Neither am I.
Oh,
I can't believe it.
It's been so good. I've really been enjoying this season. So excited to watch that. And then, of course, their coverage will be great as well. Then our friends over at Still Slaying, talking Buffy universe stuff. So, of course, this week, Angel, season 2, episode 5, taking a little break from the Buffy, doing the Angel, doing the spin-off show. They like to bounce back and forth. So, yeah, check out some Angel coverage over on Still Slaying this week. And then on the Wax Episodic podcast, doing a little bit of a catch-up episode, the first 5 episodes of this current season of Silo, season 3. They're Veronica, Amelie, and Jason getting together to talk about those first 5 episodes of this season of Silo. So if you're watching Silo, been wondering where that coverage is, they're cranking it all out together right here for you to get caught up on the show. So go check that over there on Wax Episodic. And then outside of Podcastica, of course, our good friends over at Pirate Core Entertainment Podcast Network, always doing some fun stuff. So, of course, Vampire Lestat, they've been doing coverage over there. So you can get Lara, Billy, and Becky doing that over on the Vampcast on the Pirate Core Entertainment Network. So go check that out as well. If you want more of me and Daphne, of course, our other podcast, the Buffalo Podcast, still going strong. For those listening to it, nothing has changed. We keep cranking out episodes week after week after week. For us, luckily, we banked a lot of episodes because we haven't recorded on that podcast in a month or more. We finally got back to recording this week, and it feels so good.
It does. I missed it. I really did. Yes, I missed the pain and suffering of getting picked on by the 3 of you. I did. Yeah.
So, of course, I tell you what it is all the time, but if you still don't know, or if this is your first episode listening, that is a non-TV show pop culture coverage podcast. It's just more of a comedy hangout podcast. Me, Daphne, and our friends Jeff and Jerry get together, catch up with each other, tell a bunch of jokes, try to make each other laugh, or at least be miserable by puns. Play some games, have a good time, hang out. It's a great time.
It definitely is.
Yeah, but then after you go check out all of that, then you will want to come back next week to listen to the podcast episode that you will love more than any other podcast episode in the whole fucking world. What is it going to be, Daphne?
Well, a young man makes a supernatural wish to win the affection of the woman he loves, only to discover that forcing love comes with terrifying and irreversible consequences. Yes, we're doing it. We are discussing Curry Barker's 2026 film, Obsession.
No. Yes, we are. We're doing it.
We are. This is the movie that we have gotten requests for just in the last month, I feel like people have been sending me messages about it. And yes, we are covering it. It's coming out next week.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen Obsession yet, get on that. And then we hope to get some great feedback from you guys. So get on that as well this week.
Yeah. And with that, we've reached the end of another Insidious episode of Run for Your Lives. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pake.
And if you have to run, you better run for your lives.
Bye-bye.